Well, it is time. It is time to go trick or treating. We are just about to head out the door. Not you. You guys stay home. And yeah, ready to go. I have my elf t-shirt on and I have my Christmas wreath leggings on. You can't miss me with these leggings on. No. I found them at my village a few years ago. Of course, I have my zip-up hoodie on just for extra warmth. I don't think it's too cold. Yeah, I know, squeaky door. Actually, it's really decent out. That is nice. What do you think? You want to come too? Alright, well, she was outside for a little bit. She got some fresh air. There's kind of too much going on our street. The neighbor was leaving and she didn't like the sound of the car. So, yeah, so it's really nice out, which is good, but we're going to be by the water, so it will be colder, so that's why I have this on. And I will have to dig out my winter jacket. I just realized that. I got the boys' winter jackets, but did I get mine? Heck no. No, I didn't. So I'm gonna grab that and gloves, and we're gonna have fun. I think it's just me and the boys, because the hubby isn't feeling good to eat something that did not agree with his stomach, unfortunately, so I think he's staying home. So the boys and I will have fun, and we'll show you guys what our town looks like at Christmas. Our town does a really good job. They make it look like a Hallmark movie, that's for sure. You feel like you're walking onto a Hallmark set, and you just are you're just expecting to see the actors. You're like, okay, where are they? You know? Yeah, that's what it feels like. Okay, I have to dig up my coat, so wish me luck. The old high school. Okay, so we have to cross here. Parking was a you-know-what. This is a high school Auntie Sarah and Auntie Rachel went to. And I think Papa. Yeah. But not me. I went somewhere else. This is where I usually park, and I had it blocked off this year. So that's why parking was, you know what? No, they do a Santa Claus run, 5K every year. But this was open last year, so I don't know. All right, let's go have some fun. Oh, you could win. Oh, $500 Devonshire Mall. Oh. It's like, now you got my interest. Mater. Lightning McQueen. A love bug. Wonder Woman, of course. Gee, I wonder who's my favorite. I have no idea.
Is that Green Lantern?
Yeah, Green Lantern.
And who's that?
Green Lantern.
Yeah, I think that's
What's up, Spidey? Okay. So we're gonna take a look at the gingerbread houses. A tree lighting is just down there, just a short walk.
Are they silver hot chocolate?
Yep, they'll serve hot chocolate and probably cookies. From Tim Hortons. The hot chocolate anyways, I think the cookies are from somewhere else. Alright.
Why do they make
Huh?
What are they made of?
I don't know. Somebody in town made them.
What are they made of?
I don't know. plaster. Hey, let's go. Oh, okay. How strange, there's a line. Alright, change of plan since there's a line, which is really unusual. We're going to go where the tree lighting is, get hot chocolate and cookies, and after the tree lighting, there's fireworks, and after that we will go back and look at the gingerbread houses. Because by the time we wait in line, we're going to have to rush. Because there's like 20 minutes left till, you know, the lights go on the tree. So that's the plan. There's some mooses, family of mooses.
Okay, let's keep walking now. Great young.
Looks like that's where they have the movie. They probably already had it. I think they have it early. Around 5.
Do you smell that?
Yeah, somebody's burning a fire. Bonfire. Yeah, I think it's that building right there. That have a fire pit going. Yep. Oh, that smells good. Oh, such a good smell. Shooting stars. Yep. Yeah, I think there's stuff going on there too. Yeah, there, I got a fire going.
Line at the door. We're not going. Oh, that's cool.
My baby live enough.
Alright. Let's find that hot chocolate. I got one.
How many hot chocolates?
3?
3? Come out. 1.
Thank you.
Are we gone?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have fun.
Thanks. Okay, grab. Okay, now into the madness. Craziness.
Stay right there.
All right, Ian, can you help me count this down? All right, everybody. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom stick. Because I think they make it go off once before the fireworks. And I think that was a cannon. Yeah, we're gonna go in the building next behind us.
What?
We're gonna go in the building behind us. There's a ship going by. That's perfect timing. You got a good seat to the fireworks. All right, let's go in the building. Woo.
Oh, you got
Go ahead and get started. Mr. Pelto, we're starting. Be as quiet as possible, please. Thank you. Mr. and Mrs. Honor, I have 2 chairs up front for you. Okay. Young Mr. Honor, sorry, you're on your own. If you're not gray, I don't play. Okay. My friend Deborah recently released a new book on the history of Bellevue House up outside of town. You can bug her after I'm done. If you want to pull a 20 out of your wallet and get a really, really good local history book. Mr. Honor was one of the leading people at Parks Canada, Fort Malden for 35 years. And when I was first getting involved in reenacting, he was already the guy that people said, if you really want to know what happened, talk to him. When I tell history, I tell history. When I tell stories, well, that's a whole different thing. But I will assure you tonight that what we're sharing with you tonight is an old German legend, almost 500 years old. But I don't know anybody around here that is 500 years old and used to live in Germany. So we're going to make this a very much a Canadiana story. And I promise you that everything I say tonight, every word, is absolutely true. Except for the parts that I make up. Here tonight to have a little bit of fun. This is a wonderful story. It's funny. It's romantic. There's sausage involved. That's always a good thing. There might be a reference to some fat guy in a red suit. Not me. Okay? So let's just go ahead and get started with the story. I'm just going to call this simply the Christmas sausage because I don't know what else to call it. It's not a fairy tale, but just because we're all here together and having fun and people are already giggling, thank you very much. Warms the cockles of my taste, got a little heart. Once upon a time, probably about 160 or so years ago, before Canada was a country. Canada was just kind of working on the process. Around 1860 or so. There was a young couple living in a ramshackle, fallen down clapboard house on the edge of one of the many, many villages that used to exist along the rail line in Essex County. That rail line went through around 1855, 1857, and it was supposed to bring prosperity for everybody. Everybody would have great jobs, and people were building houses and going into debt, and it kind of sounds familiar. But anyway, this young couple had moved down from the east into Essex County to help build the railway. And while they were building the railway, he had a great job, was making the best money he had ever made. But then they were done building the railroad. And all the jobs that were supposed to follow didn't, unless you worked for one of the companies that used the railroad. Several years had gone by and things had gotten really, really difficult. He was lucky to work 1 week out of the month. The little ramshackle place they were in, they were only in it because it's all they could afford. It wasn't much more than a glorified chicken coop. The breeze would come in one side and take half the room out on the way out. And they were struggling. Fortunately, there was no little ones. It was just the couple that was there, but still, things were difficult. It was Christmas Eve, and they had nothing. There was literally half a loaf of bread in the pantry. They had no idea how long it had to last. She had a pot of soup that they had been watering down already for 2 days. That's all they had for their food for the fullness of Christmas Day and maybe beyond. They had a small pile of wood for the stove, and they had 1 lump of coal left. There was nothing to celebrate the season. They didn't know what they were going to do. He had been out every day, going to every merchant and tradesman and craftsman that he knew in the area, begging for an opportunity, just a few hours work, just enough to buy some fresh bread and maybe a little chicken or something so they could have a full meal. And no matter what, nothing worked, nothing happened. And it got on to early afternoon on Christmas Eve. And he pulled on his boots and he grabbed his coat, and his sweetheart looked at him as the wind was howling and the snow was starting to fall, and she said, "Where do you think you're going?" And he said, "We need better than we have. I'm going to try one more time." She said, "You're going to go out into that weather trying to find something now? Everybody's going home for the holidays. It's Christmas Eve. What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm going to go out with a full heart, knowing that when I get home, if nothing else, you still love me. But maybe while I'm out there, maybe I'll bump into St. Nicholas. Maybe I'll have a run-in with the jolly old elf. Maybe Santa Claus himself will come by and pour out a great big stocking full of blessing on us. But it's not going to happen if I sit here being miserable." And he kissed her on the cheek, and he wrapped his scarf around the neck, and out the door he went. He went to every place of business in their village. He walked miles up and down the track. The sun set. Everyone was gone. Very few candles on the main street of the town. Everybody had gone back to their homes. And he thought, if nothing else, they could at least be warned, because he would walk along the railroad tracks, because surely, as those old clunking steam engines went by, sometimes coal would fall out of the supply car, the fuel car, and maybe he could just pick up an armful of coal, so at least they would be warned. But would you believe he wasn't the only one that was desperate? And there was no coal. And now it's well dark. He knows his wife's going to be worried. They have one little candle burning in the cottage, and he has to get home. He steps off the track, he turns his way back towards the village, and he stops for a minute, and he turns his face up to the cloudy moon, and he calls out, "Hey, Santa Claus, Christmas Eve, a little help down here would be nice." And he laughed at himself and made his way home. Steps up onto the porch of their little cottage, and there, right beside the door, there was a wooden box where they would store some things, sometimes if they had it. And much to his surprise, on top of that wooden box, there was a copper coal scuttle full of high-grade coal. Now, he had no idea where this came from. Maybe one of the merchants he had spoke to early in the day felt sorry for him. All he knew was that he didn't really care, because they would at least be warm that night. And if they could be warm, they could warm up water, they could make some weak tea, they would have something, and something was better than nothing. And he picked up the scuttle, and he went into the house, and just as he stepped in, she heard him closing the door, and she turned, and she ran over to give him a big hug, and she saw the scuttle in his hand, and she said, "I know what it is, but where?" And he went, "It was waiting for us on the porch." "Well, what happened while you were out?" And he told her the whole story. Everybody's saying no, and he yelled out to Santa Claus, "A little bit of a blessing would be good. Where's the stockings by the chimney for us, you know?" I mean, Mr. Clement Clark Moore had written his poem 40, 50 years before. "'Twas the night before Christmas, stockings were hung. Where's our stockings?" And she laughed and told him again that he was silly, which he already knew. But he settled down by the stove, and as she was warming up their little bit of soup, getting ready to put it on the fire, he put a lump of coal in to build the fire up. And as he reached into the scuttle to get the coal, he saw a letter. And he opened up that letter, and all it said was, "I heard your words. Stay warm. Merry Christmas. S.C." Well, he thought somebody was playing a joke on him. He crumpled up the paper, the letter in the envelope, and he used it as tinder to start to get the fire built up. Thought nothing of it. He slammed the grate shut. Now he's miserable. How dare somebody pull a prank on them when they're so desperate? She puts the pot onto the stove. She warms their meager soup up. He slices 2 very, very thin slices of bread, and they sit down for their meal. She said, well, at least we're warm. That's wonderful. There's enough coal there to keep us warm for quite a while. And you know, we could probably sell that scuttle if we had to, but at least we'll be warm for the night. And he takes the first sip of that weak soup, and he gives a big sigh. And he says, sweetheart, you have taken such good care of us. You have fed us when we had next to nothing. And I love everything that you put in front of me to eat. But oh, how I wish I could have a big, fat sausage. And boom, rattle, rattle, bang, 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 down the stovepipe, bursting open the door of the big cast iron stove, and out on the floor was a massive, sizzling sausage the size of your head. She jumps away from the table in fear, and he falls back over his chair, gets up. She, being wise, immediately runs over with a towel and picks the sausage up, because she doesn't know where it came from, but it's not going to go to waste. But she plops it down on the table, and she said, how did the sausage get there? It's almost bigger than the stovepipe. How did, and who, and how, and I don't understand. And he said, well, I might be able to tell you what happened. See, when I went to build the fire up, underneath the first piece of coal, there was a letter, and the letter said, I heard your words, and have a Merry Christmas, and oh, by the way, I'm giving you 3 wishes for Christmas Eve. And she realized he was talking about Santa Claus. And he had 3 wishes. And then she realized he just wasted a wish on a stupid sausage. She said, you mean to tell me with all of our desperation, Santa Claus gave you 3 wishes and you wasted one of them on it? He said, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was a joke. I never thought. She said, well, apparently it's real because there's the sausage. And you know what? I know you love a nice sausage, but you could have asked for a bag full of money. You could have asked for a good job. You could have asked for a new house, warm clothes. You could have asked for everything. You asked for a sausage? Well, you know what I wish, my love? I wish, since you love that sausage so much, it would just jump up and stick right to your face. And you know what? Boom, in that second, that sausage came up off the platter and fastened itself right through the front of the husband's face. And it was hot! And he's grabbing it, and he's like, hey, get it off! I mean, get it tight! And he's pulling and tugging and pulling and tugging. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't think, never mind, sorry, get it off of me! And she's yanking and tugging and pulling and nothing. And they make eye contact over the top of the sausage, and they realize what they have to do. They have to waste their 3rd wish, getting the sausage off of his face. And his wife says, I'm so sorry, but I wish more than anything this sausage would fall off of your face. And the sausage was down, back on the platter. Not a mark on his face, like nothing had happened. She falls into her chair. She takes a little sip of her weak tea. She said, I don't understand what happened. He says, I don't understand either, but it's here. It's here. And she said, yeah, but oh, what we could have had. And they both sat there for a few minutes, completely quiet, caught up in the sadness of 3 wasted wishes. And about 3 minutes went by, and the good wife started to laugh. It was just a little bit of an ingrowing chuckle to start with, just a little. And he looked at her, what? He went, she laughed at him. What is so, and finally, what is so funny? And she said, I just realized, here we are complaining. This morning we had no heat, barely any wood, barely any food. Now we have a bucket full of coal, enough to keep us warm for a week or more. And when that coal is gone, if we have to, we can sell the scuttle for enough to buy something else. And we have this fine fat, like, look at this sausage. We could eat off of this sausage for a week or more. And when it's gone, I could take the skin and boil it up with a few potatoes and make a soup. We're in far better condition now than we were this morning. My love, this morning we were worried about eating tomorrow and being warm overnight. Now we have a roaring fire and hot meat, and things are good. Why are we arguing? He looked over at her and says, I don't know. But you're so smart. You're almost as smart as you are beautiful. And she laughed and told him he was silly and handed him the knife to cut the sausage. Well, he cut the first slice off and set it on her plate. He cut the second slice off and set it on her plate. And they didn't eat all of the bread. They just shared a piece, and they had a few meager vegetables beside it. And it was the fullest their bellies had been in the better part of a week. And they were sated and comfortable. And they got up, and for the first time in a long time, he helped do the dishes. Gentlemen, there's a lesson there. And they got all the chores done for the night. I saw a couple of ladies turn towards their partners. That scared me a little bit, but that's okay. They got the chores done, they got the fire bank down, they got up into their meager little bed, they snuffed the last candle, they kissed each other goodnight, and then with a big contented sigh, they settled into Christmas night, knowing that they would eat well in the morning, and they would be warm, and hope lived in Essex County. Just as the candle flame went up, just as that happy sigh came up from where they were, what they didn't know was that outside, on the front porch, standing up on that little box where the coal scuttle was a chubby man in a long woolen cloak with a white beard. And he peeked through the window, brought a great big smile to his face, stepped down from the box, and as he walked away, you heard, oh, 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 oh. Now, in years past, sorry, I got tea in the mustache. I forgot to trim it this morning. And maybe a little bit of other things too, but I don't have a filter. You'll catch on. I don't have a filter. What I think comes out of my face. Normally, we would have song sheets to hand out to everybody. And we would encourage you to sing 300-400-year-old carols. And one year we did the Gloucester Wassail, which is really naughty. There was kids around. We had to stop. And other years we've done early versions of this, and God rest you merry gentlemen, and so on. But I thought, since we're doing a story from around 1860, was there a song from around that time? And there was a song that was written in 1850. Became really popular around 1856, 1507, and by the time Canada became a country, was one of the most popular Christmas carols in North America, even though it was actually written as a song for the American Thanksgiving. And you'll notice you have no song sheets tonight, because I would be greatly dismayed if anybody didn't know the words to what we're about to sing. Now, maybe this is something new for you. Maybe singing Christmas carols in the group is a new thing for you, but I bet you will all catch on very quickly. So we're going to sing the first note together, just to see if you're all ready. Are you all ready? Okay, now you're all grown-ups and you're indoors. Right now you're all 12 and you're outside. Okay? Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready? I'm ready. Okay, have some fun, kids. I'm here. I'm the biggest kid in the room. I mean, you know, yesterday I was up in Oil Springs. Are there any little ones? No littles? Yesterday I was up in Oil Springs wearing a different big red suit. We had some fun yesterday, I'll tell you that. But here we go. Sing this with me. Ready? Oh! Oh! Okay, let's do that again. Oh! Oh! Okay, you all know how to sing the song now, because it starts like this. Written in 1850, popular by the time Canada was a country, not meant to be a Christmas song, but who cares? Because it goes, oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I skipped the first, didn't I? Yes. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Don't hear yourself if you were saying you're listening to November, but you could enjoy yourselves behind each other.
Can we get one for Dada? Sure, grab one for Daddy.
Get the first of the big stick. You sure you want to take one cookie?
No, one of the, do you want to share? She hands it off to Auntie.
Okay, grab what you want. Okay, let's go. They're playing it now. It's real now. Alright, let's go to the gingerbread house. Park House is open. Okay, it's a short walk. So I have our cookies. And we got more cookies too. Mickey and the gang. There's still a line. Oh my gosh. I guess we could not avoid it. Alright, it looks like it's moving quick though. So close. Yeah, I wonder whose house that is. It's Elsa. Elsa.
Somebody's macaroni.
Oh wow, look at the bridge. Yeah. That's impressive. Yeah, that Olaf. That's Olaf. That's funny.
How do people do that? Hey, Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf. Wow, look at that one. Oh my goodness. That's impressive. Yeah, it's probably a tea light candle. Wow.
Oh, there's a monster.
Wow, I think that is the winner of my books. Wow. It's lit up. Like how'd they do that? Oh, look at oh, it's so cool. Oh, a popcorn roof. That's a roof I would eat. Yep. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and like little marshmallows.
That's very cool. Oh, that's a big gingerbread. Man. Wow. Oh, yeah, Santa Claus hat. Not enough to eat.
I think this one.
Oh, the carousel.
You know the one that lights up?
Yeah.
The logo? I think this one or the other one is the best.
Yeah, I think the log one. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, the log one. But there's different categories, though. Sweet Home. The ginger, oh, it's a ginger bear. It's really good. He did not survive the trip home though, so. But he has a good home right now. Yum. We got one sugar cookie and one ginger bear. No. Alright. Our lights are and inflatables are on right now, so I'll show you what they look like. And I'm going to burn these in before they also disappear and find a good home. Okay, we have a Staggy and Mr. Reindeer. And of course, Grogu with a stocking and Santa Stitch. Looking adorable as always, super cute. And the lights, let me look both ways. And yeah, there we go. That's what it looks like. All decked out for the holidays. Ho, ho, ho. This weather is crazy warm for this time of November, but we are enjoying it. It is nice. I mean, we've had years going to the tree lighting ceremony, and it has been like cold, windy, and freezing your tushkas and all your toes and fingers off. So it's nice when it's like really nice weather. Like, I took off my zip up hoodie, I left it in the car when we parked, and I'm glad I did, because like a jacket, like I probably could have just worn this, because that's what Henry wore. Casey had his winter jacket. I could have just worn this, but the pockets in my zip up hoodie are not as like big as my pockets in my winter coat. They're kind of more deeper, and you know, Natasha Bedingfield, try not to have the foam shadow on my face, but Natasha Bedingfield pocket full of sunshine. Well, instead of a pocket full of sunshine, I had a pocket full of cookies, which is better than a pocket full of sunshine. Natasha Bedingfield. Alright, so it's 7:30, even though it feels like 10:30. I'm gonna wrap this up so I can edit this and hopefully get it up in time. I keep getting interrupted though. Alright, finishing up the video in the car because I got a better light and the seat's a lot more comfortable. So yeah, we had fun. Parking was, you know what, for the first time in probably a few years, I actually had a hard time to find parking, and I hate that. I just hate it, you know? It's like, oh, yeah. I mean, because you have the people there for the 5K Santa run, so they're there early, right? They're there early to, like, you know, prepare and stretch, whatever they do. And so a lot of the spots are taken because of them. And then by the time you go, because you don't want to wait around, the gingerbread warming house opens at 5, but you don't want to get there too early, because then you're waiting around. So yeah, but I ended up parking. Well, okay, where I usually park is the old high school, where the buses used to go. Okay. That's where I would usually park, and I would be able to, like, you know, get right out, easy peasy. But they had that way blocked off, and I'm like, that was so frustrating. It's like, how dare you? But okay, so I go to one of the parking lots that I will usually park. No space is available. It's like, okay. And then I'm driving by the old high school, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's free parking right across, so park there, plenty of parking. Just a short walk, you know, we don't have to walk too far. And it worked out. The old high school, they rebuilt a new high school, I think like around 2 years ago. Developers bought the old high school, but these developers are known to build condos. I hope they don't build condos, I hope they build something else, but we'll see. Yeah, and I hope they keep a section of the high school, because I think part of it is original. So yeah, we'll see. I just hope it's not condos. So yeah. So but yeah, after we found parking, and then we went to the gingerbread house, right? And I thought, okay, I should get right in, because there has never been a line before. Nope, wrong, there was a line. That's like, okay. So we went to where the tree lighting part is, okay, right in town. And that was the right decision, because if we stayed in the gingerbread house line, we would not have time. We'd be rushing, right? Because by the time we walked there to get into line for hot chocolate and cookie, that line was long, and it was a little bit confusing at first, because you didn't know where the line started, you know. So I quickly figured it out, thankfully. We got a line, and it was like 5:45, and it took us 10 minutes to get the hot chocolate and cookie and then find a spot by the tree. So it's like, oh my gosh. Like last year it was just me and Casey, because Henry had a birthday party, so it was just me and Casey that went, and we didn't have to wait in a long line for hot chocolate. Yeah, I think word gets out and more people come every year, and it gets popular every year. So, and then the tree lighting, the town crier, the mic wasn't on, so that's why you couldn't really hear him, and I didn't really film that much of him, because you couldn't hear him. But then when I think it was a deputy mayor, I'm not sure where the mayor was, but the deputy mayor took over, he made a speech, and somebody said the mic wasn't on, and he turned the mic on. It's like, okay, now we can hear you. And he gave a little speech, and the power company gave us a speech, and he mentioned it's like a Hallmark movie, and it's like, yeah, I've heard that somewhere, you know, and it is like a Hallmark movie. They do a well job, a really good job, and it just, after that, it gets so crowded. That's the only part I don't like, because it's super duper crowded. Lots of people, and then you're making your way to the riverfront to get a spot to see the fireworks, which we had no trouble seeing, like, because Canada Day we had trouble seeing the fireworks because the trees were in the way. No trees in the way because all the leaves are on the ground, so you know, so the fireworks are good, but you're kind of like, you know, shoulder to shoulder, and it's really crowded, and you know, you're shuffling. And there's really no empty space, you know, you gotta take your time or else, you know, somebody gets knocked over. So, but I eventually, like, it took like five or so minutes to get away from the crowd, find a space, and then right before the fireworks ending, we went to that building, and the town crier, he's the guy that told the story, so I think you guys could hear him. I hope. I haven't looked back on the clip, but I could hear him in the building. So yeah, and they had cookies afterwards. We did that a couple years ago, and I think that's when it was like a really cold year. I think 2 years ago it was cold. Last year was really nice, and this year was super nice, and it's really warm in that building, really warm. So it's a gingerbread warming house, that's why it's called a gingerbread warming house. So if you have to warm up, those are the two buildings you go to. And yeah, he tells the story. He did a good job. It was a good story. And then we got cookies. This year they have them in bags, which is good. Last time it was just like, hey, grab a couple, but that's a better idea. Put them in little baggies, and you can just grab and go. So yeah, but it was really good, really fun. And then we got into the line. I wasn't expecting there to be a line, because I'm like, okay, we're going to do this, because I figure the majority of people probably did the gingerbread warming house, you know, before the tree lighting, and then like after. We were in that building for like at least 20 minutes, and I thought, okay, so they probably go and look, but there was still a line. We didn't have to wait long, but you know, that's just the first year that there's a line to go see the gingerbread houses. My favorite ones were, the also one was pretty good, but my favorite one, now there's different age categories, so this one and the other one are probably different age categories. So the cabin one and the carousel one, those are my two favorites. Yeah, very talented. I mean, I couldn't do that. Martha Stewart could. I bet you Martha Stewart could. But not me. Oh, no. But yeah, really talented. So yeah. And then we went home, and here we are. And I'm going to say goodnight and get this together. But first, I'm going to get in my PJs, and maybe we will watch a Christmas movie. And yeah, next week is the parade, so that's another fun night. And yeah, it all goes by so fast. Yeah, it really does. I will be going back though, because like the tree lighting, it's the first night and it's super duper busy. It's hard to do everything and take the pictures and look at everything. So I will be going back to like take pictures if the kids want to take pictures. And I will go to like do a video and see all the light displays. Yeah, it's just hard to get everything. The first day is so crazy. Yeah, so I will go back and we'll go together, and maybe we'll take some hot chocolate with us. So no, we'll see. Like we had hot chocolate tonight, and really was not hot chocolate weather. You know, it wasn't cold enough for me. It was good. It's 2 mornings, so it was good. But it's just not really hot chocolate weather. That's okay. Yeah, but we'll see. Maybe we'll bring hot chocolate, or yeah, we'll see. We will have fun, and we'll take our time, and but yeah, it's crowded and crazy. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming along with me to our town's Hallmark Christmas movie version, because it really does feel like you stepped onto a Hallmark set. It really does. Yeah. Alright guys, I'll see you next video. Take care, be blessed, and ta-ta for now. Bye!